Hello guys, and welcome to episode number 7 of solving SQL problems. In this one, we will be solving 5 problems from Amazon right here. So let's get started. Problem number 1. Let's see what we have to do here. We have to find workers and their corresponding information from the table. That sounds like we have to just select everything about the worker with the condition here, even number of worker ID. So we have to show all the information for each row. A worker is one row, but we only want to show worker ID where it's an even number. So let's get it started. We're going to select everything from worker, and we have one condition where worker ID. Now we want to this one worker ID right here. So this column right here, we only want to show even numbers. So we want to show this, and this. We do not want to see this 7, 5, 3, and 1. So there's 2 ways, very similar of doing this. First one is we find the mode, and we can do that by dividing by 2 and then checking if the remainder is 0. And there we go. We got right here, we got the 2, 4, 6, and 8. So what this really does is it's simply taking a number. So let's say 8, right? And we divide it by 2, and this is going to be equal to 4.0. So all we really care about is what's after this, what is after here. If it's 0, like in this case it's 0, then it means it's an even number. So you could imagine we can replace here this 8, we could put 10, and it would give 5.0. So this would be even as well. But if you try something like, I don't know, 15 divided by 2, then we would get 7.5. And here we have this 0.5. And 5 is not 0, so it's an odd number. Now there's another specific function which does exactly the same thing, and it's the mod one. And this one takes just 2 parameters right here. It's very similar. This one kind of looks cleaner. You know what's going on. So we can use the bottom one. It's going to give us the same result. And there we go. We have here, we have the ones that we actually wanted. Let's check for a solution. Everything is good. Let's go to the next one. Problem number 2. Let's see what we have to do here. Find workers and their corresponding information. Wow, this is exactly the same one. It's just that the condition here is odd numbers. So it's not even numbers, it's odd numbers this time. So we can literally go back because we're lazy. We're going to copy everything here, and we're going to go with the first method. It's just the only difference now. We want to show, if I show again the example with, 7, let's just say 7 divided by 2 equals with 3.5 in this case. So now here, we want to check where it is not 0. If it's 0, we don't want to see it. Anything else that's not 0, it's fine for us. So we're simply going to say not 0. And now down here, we're going to get 1, 3, 5, 7. Another way of writing this here, these 2 parentheses, we could simply write exclamation mark equals. What it's saying, it's not equals. The exclamation mark says not equals. And this would give us the same result. And now we can use the mod function. We just want to modify this one here. We're going to get exactly the same output. And now if you put exclamation mark equals, we're going to get again exactly the same output. And there we go. This is correct. Let's move on to problem number 3. Order details. Oh, this one is more interesting. We have some tables here. Let's see what we have to do. Find order details made by. So that's what we have to find. Jill and Eva. That seems to be our filter. My bad, with red. Filter. Consider Jill and Eva. So our filters here, first names. So they are the first names. the customer's output, we have to output order date, details, cost, and first name. So we have to output 1, 2, 3, 4 columns. We have to output 4 columns. And here we have 2 filters. 4 columns and 2 filters. And here we have to order records, so probably everything, by customer ID in ascending. And we have 1 grouping. We have to show 4 things, 2 filters, and order, group them somehow. In this case, it's an order. So let's get started with the first basic one. First, we're going to do our select from. In this case, we're going to choose the customer table as the first one, because this one is a larger one. The orders one could be smaller in size, because not all customers need to actually make an order. They could just be customers but not make an order. Let's filter. Let's actually join them, because we have to join them anyway. And because it says that we have to find the details for orders that already exist, that means that we only need the commonalities. So we're going to use an inner join in this case. We're going to name the customer table as C. We are going to inner join with the table called orders. We're going to name it O. And then the common key between these is going to be right here, the customer ID, and here we're going to use the cust ID from the orders table. This is going to be the link between these 2 tables. So we're going to write CID and then O cust ID. CID equals O.cust ID. There we go. And we are going to start showing here. Let's see, we have to output order date, details, cost, and first name. So let's just write in that order. Order date, details, and cost. We have here date, details, and cost. They are all from this table, from the orders. Order date, details, cost. We're going to say order date, I think it was. Yes. Then we're going to put a comma, write it down here. O, order details. O, order something with cost. Total order cost. We're going to paste it. Whoops. Dot. And then finally, we're going to say this one right here. From customers, we're going to select the first name. So we're going to say C.first name. So let's just show it like this. And okay, guys, I fixed the problems. I forgot an S here, and here I forgot the on. Now we have this. We need to show the 4 things. We joined this. We're going to separate here. But now we need to filter. So the filtering here has to be made by this and this. So Jill and Eva. Now Jill and Eva, it says here that these are first names. So this one right here, we're going to say where. Okay, guys, so now we can filter this one. We can apply our 2 filters. Now the name can either be Jill, or it can be C first name equals Eva. And this would be the output right here. We have out of these. But we can write this filter in another way, which is shorter. C the first name. I'm going to use the in function, and then we're just going to make a small list with our names. And this looks far better, more elegant, easier to understand. It's going to return us the exact same thing. It simply looks, is it this, or however many we can write in here. It just looks better, shorter, easier to understand. So that will be our final solution. We're going to submit here. Everything seems to be correct. So let's move on to the next one. Problem number 4. Let's see what we have here. We have a table again. We're going to have to do a join. So let's select from. Now let's see how we're going to have to join these. Let's see what we have to do. Find details of each customer. Oh, and this is interesting right here. Regardless of whether the customer made an order. Now, why would they even mention this? They mention this because this will help us to decide which type of join do we want to make. Now, let's think a little bit about these. Let's look at these tables. So this table has a bunch of customers. And this one has orders from these customers. These are the keys. This one is this one right here. That's the link. Now, this table most likely is bigger in size than the orders table, because we can have, for example, 100 customers, but only 50 of them would make orders. There could be customers that made no order. So we would have more customers in here, let's say 100, but only 50 of them made orders. 50 customers. We could have here orders could be crazy, like orders could be 1,000 orders. But that doesn't matter. It matters that only 50 of the customers. This is just a particular example. So we want to show, that's why they mention here that we want to show regardless of whether they made an order or not. So in this case, we cannot make an inner join because that will exclude the customers that did not make an order. So we want to include those as well. So we're going to make a left join in this case. We're going to get a bunch of nulls here at the customer ID. It's going to show us orders where there's no customer ID. So let's join it like that. First, customers, C, left join orders O on CID equals O.cost ID. So that's our, oops, I didn't select anything here. Let's select everything. And just to show you, let me move these a little bit. We're gonna wanna see everything where O.ID, order ID, is null. So there you go, guys, right here. At this column, let me make this a little bigger. This column right here, you see it's empty. Because these customers, like for example, John here, Emma, Liam, Mark, these people didn't make any orders. They are customers, but they didn't make any orders. Now we're going to remove this and continue with our problem right here. Find the details. So we want to show everything. Details here. Details means we want to show everything here. Customer regardless. Okay. Output customer first name, last name, city along with order details. Let's do that. Customer first name C dot last name C dot city, and then we want to show O dot order details, I believe it's called. Yep. You may have duplicate rows in your results due to a customer ordering several of the same items. Well, I don't know why they even tell us that. Order by. So now we have to sort the records based on customer first name and order details in ascending. So we have to order by 2 columns in ascending order. The first one is first name. The second one is O order details. And we're going to write here, out of a good habit, C.first name. And that is the final result. Let's see if everything is correct. Everything seems to be fine. So let's move on to the last exercise, guys, for today. So guys, last problem number 5 for today. And let's see what we have to do here. We have to find the worker who earns the highest salary. And then we have to output here worker's first name along with the salary. First name along with the salary. So just first name and the salary. So let's just do that really quick. Select from. We're going to write here first name and salary. Now let's see. Let's look at the data. And just by looking at the data here, we can notice in this column here, we will notice that we actually have 2 entries. You see here the salary is 50K, 500,000 here. We have 2 values with the same at the top. So ideally we would want to show both of these. But in this case, they don't really mention. They just say the worker, not the workers. If you would say the workers, then you would show, all of them that have the high salary. But it says the worker, that would mean just the expected output is just 1. So let's just actually literally do it like that, where we just say the worker is just 1. I'm going to select from worker. And here we can literally say salary, max salary. And now it's going to give us the max one of them, probably alphabetically. the max salary. But this is a terrible solution because we could miss out, and we don't want to do that. So what we're going to do, we're going to just show the salary here. And now we're going to filter using a subquery. We want the salary. So show us all the records, the first names, where the salary is equal to, and now we have to find out the maximum salary. So the maximum salary is, we want to select the max salary from worker. So this here is going to return us basically this number, 500,000. So it's going to say salary equals to 500K, 500, and then, 500K. So that's literally what this means here. If we run it, now we're going to get both of them. And this is a better solution because we're not going to miss out on those common values at the top. Now, there's also another way of using this, and I recommend this one because you get to practice CTEs, and then you get to practice the syntax for window functions. So in this case, we're going to use a window function within a CTE to make it more readable. With CTE as, we're going to build us our CTE table. I'm going to say select first name and salary. That's what we care. And then we're going to create a new column where we rank them based on salary. We're going to say order by salary descending. So from the highest salary to the lowest. And we're going to rename this column as R and K. Now we're going to select from worker. So that's our common table. Now we're going to select just the first name and the salary from CTE where R and K equals 1. And now we're going to get the same result as before with the subquery, but this time it looks cleaner, it's easier to understand, and you have to think in the future that you're going to have like a lot of code. This is going to be much easier for people to understand and for you to understand what you did a while ago. So that was for this video, guys. Thank you for watching. And if you enjoy these types of problems, I highly encourage you to join the StrataScratch community. Please consider using the affiliate link in the description below. It is of tremendous help for a small creator like me. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.